The air hung heavy and still. Cicadas chirped, a lonely symphony in the Texas night. At the Shell station on Highway 80, two teenagers worked their shift. It was supposed to be a normal Friday night, March 11, 1983. But fate had other plans. 18-year-old Lisa Renee Driscoll, bubbly and full of life, rang up customers with a smile. Her co-worker, 17-year-old Michelle Denise Ferris, stocked shelves, lost in thought. Outside, the steady hum of traffic provided a false sense of security. The clock ticked past midnight. The last few customers came and went. Unbeknownst to Lisa and Michelle, danger lurked in the shadows, watching their every move. The night grew darker, the silence more profound as an unspeakable horror prepared to unfold. Dawn broke over Mesquite, casting a pale light on a scene of unimaginable horror. The Shell station stood deserted, its doors flung wide open. Inside, the cash register sat untouched, but Lisa and Michelle were gone, vanished. Panic-stricken, the station owner alerted the authorities. A frantic search began, hope dwindling with each passing hour. Police scoured the area, their faces grim, their hearts heavy with a growing certainty. Something terrible had happened. Days later, the unthinkable was confirmed. The bodies of Lisa and Michelle were discovered in a field miles away. Their lifeless eyes stared up at the unforgiving Texas sun. The community reeled, united in grief and consumed by a burning question: who could commit such a monstrous act? As investigators pieced together the events of that fateful night, they were met with a puzzle that seemed almost impossible to solve. The clues were sparse, and the trail was cold, but they pressed on, determined to uncover the truth. A chilling detail emerged from the fog of uncertainty. Witnesses recalled seeing a strange man at the Shell station in the hours leading up to the abduction. The gas station, usually a mundane stop for fuel, had become a focal point of the investigation. He lingered near the pumps, his gaze fixed on Lisa and Michelle. His presence was unsettling, a shadow that seemed out of place in the dimly lit station. One witness described him as tall and lanky, with a gaunt face and an unsettling intensity in his eyes. His appearance was haunting, like a figure from a nightmare. He wore a trucker cap pulled low, as if to conceal his features. The cap cast a shadow over his face, making it difficult to discern his true identity. Another witness mentioned his unnervingly quiet demeanor, like a predator stalking its prey. He moved with a calculated stillness, every motion deliberate and measured. The man's description circulated through the community, fueling fear and speculation. Posters with his likeness were plastered on every corner, and whispers of his presence spread like wildfire. Was he a drifter passing through town, a transient figure with no ties, just a fleeting shadow in the night? Or someone more familiar, lurking in plain sight? Could he be a neighbor, a colleague, or someone who had blended seamlessly into the fabric of the community? Every stranger became a suspect, every shadow a potential hiding place for a cold-blooded killer. The community was on edge, trust eroded by the fear of the unknown. The search for the truth had only just begun, and the whispers of a stranger echoed through the town, haunting every corner. The murders of Lisa and Michelle sent shockwaves through Mesquite. The once peaceful town now felt vulnerable, the innocence shattered. Fear permeated every corner, casting a long shadow over the community. Parents kept their children close, warning them of the dangers that lurked in the shadows. The carefree spirit of youth vanished, replaced by a pervasive sense of unease. The Shell station, once a bustling hub, stood as a chilling reminder of the brutal crime. Years turned into decades, but the memory of Lisa and Michelle refused to fade. The case grew cold, the trail of the killer long gone. Yet the hope for justice never died, flickering like a solitary candle in the darkness. Section 5. The Long Road to Justice. The investigation into the Shell station murders was a frustrating maze of dead ends and false leads. Despite tireless efforts by detectives, the case remained unsolved for years, a painful reminder of the killer who walked free. Years turned into decades. Witnesses' memories faded, and the trail grew colder. But even as time passed, the families of Lisa and Michelle never gave up hope. They clung to the belief that their daughter's killer would one day be brought to justice. The Mesquite Police Department, haunted by the unsolved case, refused to let it rest. They reviewed evidence, interviewed witnesses, and chased down every lead, no matter how faint. The determination to bring closure to the families and the community fueled their relentless pursuit. Section 6. A glimmer of hope, DNA evidence emerges. As technology advanced, so too did the tools available to law enforcement. In the early 2000s, DNA testing, still a relatively new investigative tool, offered a glimmer of hope in the long cold case. Evidence from the crime scene, meticulously preserved for years, was submitted for DNA analysis. The results sent a jolt through the investigation. A DNA profile of an unknown male was extracted, offering a tangible link to the killer. The profile was entered into national DNA databases, but no match was found. The killer remained unidentified, his true identity hidden behind a wall of anonymity. However, the DNA evidence provided a crucial breakthrough, breathing new life into the investigation. Section 7. The walls close in, identifying the suspect. Years passed, and the DNA profile remained a silent witness, waiting for its moment to unlock the secrets of the past. Then, in 2018, a breakthrough. Advances in genealogical DNA testing provided investigators with a new lead. By comparing the killer's DNA to publicly available genealogy databases, investigators were able to construct a familial tree. The branches of the tree led them to a family living in Texas, a family with a chilling connection to the Shell Station murders. One name emerged as a person of interest: Robert James Smith, a man who had lived in Mesquite in 1983. His age and physical description matched witness accounts of the stranger at the Shell Station. The net was closing in. Section 8. Justice delayed, but not denied. Armed with this new information, investigators tracked down Robert James Smith. He had managed to evade justice for decades, living under the radar and blending into the fabric of a quiet suburban neighborhood. The detectives, driven by a relentless pursuit of truth, meticulously pieced together the puzzle that had eluded them for so long. He was living a quiet life, far from the scene of his heinous crime. The peaceful streets of his new home were a stark contrast to the dark and violent past he had tried to bury. Neighbors described him as a reserved and unassuming man, never suspecting the dark secrets he harbored. But the past had a way of catching up. The shadows of his actions loomed large, and the relentless march of time brought with it the advancements in forensic science that would ultimately seal his fate. A DNA sample was obtained from Smith, and the results were undeniable. The once cold case was now burning hot with the evidence that had finally come to light. The DNA analysis, a marvel of modern science, provided the irrefutable link between Smith and the crime scene. His DNA matched the profile from the crime scene, confirming what investigators had long suspected. The breakthrough was a testament to the tireless efforts of the forensic team and the unwavering determination of the detectives who never gave up on seeking justice for the victims. Robert James Smith, the man who had haunted the shadows for over 3 decades, was finally unmasked as the killer. The arrest was a moment of both relief and sorrow, as the families of the victims were reminded of the pain they had endured for so long. In 2021, 38 years after the murders of Lisa and Michelle, Robert James Smith was arrested and charged with 2 counts of capital murder. The long-awaited arrest brought a sense of closure to a case that had haunted the community for nearly 4 decades. The trial was a painful reminder of the brutal crime that had shattered so many lives. The courtroom was filled with emotions as the details of the horrific events were recounted. Yet, it was also a moment of reckoning, where justice was finally within reach. But it was also a testament to the unwavering pursuit of justice. The dedication of the investigators, the advancements in forensic technology, and the resilience of the victims' families all converged to ensure that justice, though delayed, was not denied. Section 9. Scars that Remain. The enduring legacy of the Shell Station murders. The guilty verdict in the Robert James Smith trial brought a sense of closure, a momentary relief in the long, arduous journey for justice. The courtroom, filled with an air of finality, echoed the collective sigh of a community that had waited years for this day. But no amount of justice could erase the pain and loss endured by the families of Lisa and Michelle. Their loved ones, standing outside the courthouse, clung to each other, their faces etched with sorrow and resilience. The emotional toll was evident, a stark reminder of the human cost behind the legal proceedings. Their absence left an unfillable void, a silence that echoed in the places they once filled with laughter and life. The empty playgrounds and vacant park benches stood as silent witnesses to the lives cut short, a poignant symbol of the enduring impact of their loss. The Shell Station murders serve as a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of ordinary life. The once mundane gas station, now shrouded in an eerie aura, became a symbol of the unexpected horrors that can disrupt the fabric of everyday existence. They also stand as a testament to the resilience of a community forever changed by tragedy. The community, coming together in vigils and memorials, showcased their strength and unity, determined to honor the memories of Lisa and Michelle and to support one another through the healing process. Though justice was delayed, it was not denied. The long wait for the trial and the eventual verdict underscored the perseverance of those who sought justice, a testament to their unwavering commitment to see the process through to the end. The legacy of Lisa and Michelle lives on, not only in the hearts of those who loved them, but also in the collective memory of a community that refuses to forget. Their photos, surrounded by flowers and mementos, serve as a constant reminder of the lives they lived and the impact they had, but also in the unwavering commitment to seek justice for all victims of violent crime. The rallies and protests that followed their deaths highlighted a community's resolve to fight for change, to ensure that such tragedies are not repeated. Their case serves as a stark reminder that some wounds, though they may heal with time, leave behind scars that never truly fade. The scarred tree trunk and weathered memorial plaque stand as enduring symbols of the pain and the resilience of those left behind, a testament to the enduring legacy of Lisa and Michelle.